Hi, this is Paul from Outerloop Coaching and OuterloopCoaching.com, and this video I want to talk about what is an EP, an extended play. We know that there's the full length, we know there's the single, but what is it that is in the middle? What is the EP? That's what we're going to talk about this video, and also want to talk about one reason you may not have thought about, and I haven't mentioned before, or why I really love EPs and why I think they're really great for independent musicians just like you. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel here, hit the little bell so you get alerts every time we put out something new, that we get 1 or 2 new videos almost every single week. And please comment down below, let me know, have you made an EP before? What did you think? What's your favorite EP that you've ever heard anybody putting out? That would be interesting to know. All right, let's get started. All right, so the history of the EP. Okay, so it used to be that way back in the day when they first made vinyl, it was the 78s, the really hard plates, right? And they could only fit about 15, 20, 25 minutes of music or recording on both sides combined, right? So it moved so fast that you could only put so much time on there, no matter how big it was. But as technology moved on, eventually about that same size disc, but much thinner, you could run that at 33 revolutions per minute instead of 78, and you were able to extend the amount of time. And out of that was when you would find all the recordings coming out about that time would their length would fill up that entire LP, that long playing record. Now, they also had the 45, which was a smaller disc, and also moved a little bit faster than 33, but not as fast as the 78. 45 revolutions per minute. They had about enough room for about 5 minutes or so on each side. So out of these technologies, that is what set the limits of how music was being released. Songs that were released as singles were kept to be the length that they could fit on the 45. And the lengths of albums fit how much music they could put on both sides. And they also had to make sure that the songs were long enough that you could stop the songs at about halfway through the album, so you put it all on one side and then flip it over and hear the other. So it really sort of it influenced the music that was being created. The technology did, and it's a fascinating story. So the EP is that sort of in between that came along really with the invention of the CD. The CD, now you could put 72 minutes worth of music or more in some cases on that little laser disc, right? But you also could put just one song. You could put like almost nothing. It's totally flexible. So it gave artists and record labels a lot more flexibility as to the length that they could put on. And out of that, the value of the EP came along. And there's a lot of value that came out of the EP. EP is generally about 3 to 6 songs. It can be longer, can be less, can be more, but about 3 to 6 songs almost all the time. And that recording length and time is usually about 12 to about 25 or so minutes. Once you get it out to about 30 minutes, there's plenty of really great classic full-length albums that are barely longer than EPs. They're only 30, 32, 33 minutes long, and it's a full length, and we respect it as such. But like an EP, once you get below 30 minutes, it really becomes an extended play, an EP, right? So why make an EP? The first is that it's so much cheaper to go in the studio and record 3 to 6 songs than to go in there trying to record 8 to 12. You know, just laying down the album or laying down a single track can take multiple hours per song. So you do the math really quickly. There's huge savings that can be made from only going in to record 3, 4, 5, 6 songs instead of trying to spit out a whole 12. Second reason that it's so great is that it leaves you wanting more. When you are able to put your 4 or 5 best songs, I mean, just absolute slammers, they're fantastic. You put them all on an EP. When somebody gets done listening to that, they go, I gotta hear more. I gotta hear more, right? There are millionaires who only had one song, let alone 3 or 4 great ones, right? But if you can get 3 or 4 really great songs, you put them on one disc or on one EP, then what you have is you have an audience wanting more. And what's important about that is it's not just your fans who want more, because people do listen to music differently now. They're listening to music one song at a time, putting it on sort of a mix. The algorithms are putting the music out. So whether you put out an album or a single or an EP sometimes doesn't make a lot of difference for a lot of people. But what it does make a difference for is it makes a difference for the industry that you might be pitching on trying to get you signed, whether it's to a record label, a booking agent. It could be just trying to turn on a blog or turn on a publicist or somebody else like that and get them really interested in you. If you're able to put 3 or 4 awesome songs on one EP, they come out of that wondering if you've got more. If you were to do the same thing, put out a full length, I can promise you probably, this happens so rarely, right? Can you think of the number of times you've gotten a full-length album and every single song was an absolute gem? It happens so rare that I mean, even the most amazing, greatest albums usually have 1 or 2 duds on it. And what that does for the industry when they might be listening to your full length is they come across that dud and go, I think these guys they put it all out. This is all the good stuff they got. They might never be able to come up with anything more beyond this. And that is a problem when you're trying to get them to invest in your future. So if you're able to just get down to 4, 5 songs, maybe 6, that are just absolutely fantastic and put them on an EP, you turn that into a record label that has expressed some interest in you. If every song is an absolute gem, they're going to come out of that going, there must be more. And that's what they're going to invest in. And that's the real awesome, powerful value of an EP. One thing I wanted to mention too is that what else is really great about an EP is it's a chance, and this is what I alluded to earlier, it's a chance to work with people. It could be songwriting collaborators, it could be a producer, it could be a studio, and really kind of test the relationship, test to see if it works without making a full commitment of a full-length recording, okay? So you can collaborate on 3 or 4 songs. Let's see if the audience really likes it. I might like it as the artist, right? But let's see if the audience wants it. Well, you put that out there as an EP, you see if it clicks with people, and then you know whether that collaboration is something you want to invest more into in the future. So that, I think, is one of those like hidden reasons why an EP is really, really good. It's a great way to test your audience on different things that you're trying to do. And that can even be with sounds, that can be with styles, that can be all sorts of things. You can make a major misstep, perhaps, if you want to make a big change in what you're doing aesthetically in your music with a devoted audience, and you put out a full length. But if you do it as an EP, you can really test to see whether your audience is interested in what you are interested in doing, or whether you need to recharacterize it as a different side project, or what you're going to do with it so that you can still keep your audience happy being devoted to your band /